Hello there, and welcome to the Blue Devils Family Day 2026. We're out here at Los Medanos College in Pittsburgh. We're looking forward to seeing all these Blue Devil programs and organizations put on a great performance today. The weather's fantastic. We're going to have a great crowd. And with me, I've got Mike Stone, the CEO of BD Performing Arts with me. Mike, how are you doing today?
Good, Rick. It's great to be here. We've got an exciting day planned today. We're going to highlight all of the programs here at BD Performing Arts that we're so proud of. The A Corps, the B Corps, the C Corps. We've got Special Needs Guard. Lots of excitement here throughout the day. And the kids are having a great time getting to spend time with each other. It's been great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. One of the things I enjoy most about Family Days is the one opportunity that all of the corps, the Blue Devil corps, get to see each other perform. It's the only time of the year that the A Corps, our Blue Devils, get to see our Blue Devils C Corps and our Blue Devils B and our juniors and our Special Needs Guards and et cetera. And it's exciting for those performers to have that kind of interaction with them. It's also a great time for the families to come out and see their children perform out on the field. And we have a lot of first-timers out here, first-time families, first-time parents that have never witnessed this activity. Drum Corps in the air here in Northern California. The weather's nice, and we're really looking forward to a great evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. I got to see the Blue Devils last night in Camarillo. They had a great performance, and we've got some really exciting things today. We have a really big C Corps performance tonight, much larger corps. The B Corps is doing great. It's going to be really exciting for the fans that are going to be watching on their computers and those that are here live in person.
Yeah, super, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting evening. It's going to be an exciting evening, and we look forward to you guys staying with us tonight and enjoying the entertainment. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
We're ready to go? We're ready to go?
Hey.
Are you there? Can you hear me? Good evening, Blue Devils family. We're so happy you're here. Welcome to Family Day. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rosalie Harden. I've been a part of this organization as of right now 30 years. I'm a newcomer compared to my co-host, but 30 years ago I moved from Mississippi to the Bay Area to go to graduate school, and my daughter decided that she was going to be a Blue Devil, so Mom became a Blue Devil. Anybody out there identify with that? Yeah. Welcome, parents, to the Blue Devils family. I came to Family Day for years, and my co-host's father-in-law, Frank Molina, regaled us with stories of the history of the Blue Devils from the years preceding that time. And my co-host today is the original Blue Devil, Rick Odello.
Hello. Thank you. You guys having a good time? We all right? What about this weather tonight for this drum corps show? I'm feeling a good vibe here. I'm feeling like drum corps is happening in Northern California. It's all good. Thank you, Rosalie.
Yeah, we are excited to be here. And we are about ready to get started. But first, I want you to know that there are people watching all over the world, likely, because we're broadcasting live so that everybody, not just those of us here in the stand, can see and be a part of Blue Devils Family Night. So welcome to all of you. And we're happy that you're joining us online. So now we are going to start with a historic part of pageantry, and that is the presenting of the colors, also known as the color guard or the honor guard. And tonight, singing for us the national anthem, two members of the Special Needs Guard, Greg Hebert and Lawrence Wang. So welcome, Greg and Lawrence, and if you would, stand as you are able for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were still gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh boy, America, here comes the freedom train.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. Now look at all those people across the way.
Yes?
Are you ready to see them?
We're not going to work on with them.
Hey, before we start, could I ask the 1976 members that are here to head on down here to the field for us? Come on down. Don't be shy. Where are you? We have members here from, we'll get into this further, from the 1976 Blue Devil Corps, which was the first Corps, Blue Devil Corps, to ever win the Drum Corps International Championship. All right, and on with the procession, Rosalie.
Bringing the procession onto the field will be the drum line of the B and C Corps. Are we ready to go? Y'all be sure to cheer your members on and your corps on when they come onto the field, starting right now with the Special Needs Corps. Oh, it's just the C. Just the C Corps.
C Corps, if you can believe it. C Corps drum line is playing us on.
The C Corps drum line. So let's get started.
This is kind of our modern look at the story of Icarus.
So it's kind of a retelling, a reimagining of the story of what if he survived, what if he achieved his goal.
The story of Icarus is one of ambition and wanting to take risk and wanting to fly as high as you can.
Our field is destruction, our bodies are crashed into the earth, and then from there we go through some ideas of fear, failure. That's kind of our second production, and then we start building hope. And then by the end of the show, we're working ascension and learning to fly and find our dreams.
Being able to explore that story and, you know, kind of do that through the mold and through the guise of a drum corps where we are, you know, telling the story in a unique way allows us to explore some different opportunities, challenge ourselves in ways we haven't been challenged before.
And that really is what the show is doing. It's not trying to tell the exact story of Icarus. It's not trying to create a new story beyond the fact that we find Icarus is alive through the inspiration and our desire to create new things.
One of the things I really love about this year's production is the variety of the show. This show has a ton of demand, a ton of content.
This year's book so far is one of the harder books we've done, but I think it's very achievable because of the talent of the group.
In the beginning, when we're teaching it, sometimes the performers are like, you want me to do what? But once they try it and they do it, they realize, wow, this is going to be awesome. And seeing those light bulbs turn on from, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to do this, to I'm doing this and I'm going to get really good at it.
You look at our repertoire list this year and it's pretty extensive, but I think the way that it's woven together this year is really thoughtful. You know, even though there are these long lists of source materials and ideas and influences and inspirations, I think that the main sections of our show kind of come from single pieces of music, and then we kind of recur and interweave some of these themes into other sections of the show.
We do have a lot of melodic opportunity, the performance. There's a lot of technical opportunity, more lyricism, harmonic journey that we go through. Between the styles and the ballad, we're covering everything from orchestral music to the Philip Glass beginning. We're covering cinematic music at the end. We're covering gospel, British brass band jazz style. There's a lot of variety and opportunity in the production.
What I always hope for audiences is that they want to see the show more than once. It would be foolish of any creative person to try to tell you, the audience, what you like. That's an impossible thing to do. But shows are always created with the thought that there will be an audience, and that our hope is that you enjoy it and have an experience like no other. This year's program is entitled Ze, which is the Greek word for he lives. And it's inspired by the story of Icarus. The show really began as the question, what if Icarus had lived? What if his attempt to fly close to the sun had not ended in failure? What would that mean? So it was an interesting question to think about, because the story of Icarus is one of ambition and wanting to take risk and wanting to fly as high as you can and not experience failure or learn from that failure. He got to fly. He got to soar higher than any human had ever flown. And the fact that Icarus lives is a testament to us as dreamers, as human beings, as creative people. Also, there's something to be said for the fact that Icarus was going where no one had gone before, and there's something to setting the world on fire and laughing from inside the flames. Every show begins with research. And so the idea of doing a show based on Icarus has sort of, again, like many shows that we do at the Blue Devils, it's been floating around for a long time, especially the relationship to wings and how the Blue Devils have famously innovated with the use of fabric and creating wings through the decades. But the story of Icarus, and we've explored myth before also, but one of taking risk and flying so high is a discussion that we often have. How can we take risk in the program? Musically, visually, choreographically, thematically. And that really is what the show is doing. It's not trying to tell the exact story of Icarus. It's not trying to create a new story beyond the fact that we find Icarus is alive through the inspiration and our desire to create new things. The first part of the show is really about the idea of Icarus and really began as a thought in my head of what if all these people, who in our case are performers, had stumbled upon a crash site and discovered Icarus and the wings, but no Icarus, just these objects. And what would that mean? And once they began to realize that these are objects of great treasure and great meaning, you get a melody or music like the soundtrack of Mishima, which is glorious and has a moment of ecstasy. It's like realizing I can take a chance. I can do something special. That's where the first part of the show is, the idea of Icarus coming alive and being alive in that moment. As we go into the show, then we've got to explore the fear behind taking risks, what it takes to put the machine together. So there are a lot of acts of falling and recovering, helping each other. So it's a lot of little moments when we're facing those fears and finding ambition. In part 2 of the show, we have a John Mackey tune called Turbine, which is just incredible because of the twists and turns and the variety within one production. It is like when you have an idea and you've got to really flesh out that idea and think about it, and you're this way one moment and that way the next. That's what Turbine is doing. And so it seemed very appropriate. As we go into the third part of the show, which is the ballad, it really is about the longing of wanting to fly and ascend in anything, any dream you have. What does that mean to long for it so much and want it? The field becomes a runway, in fact, for ascension and descending, for takeoff and for landing. And you see an implied runway that the performers are operating within, the musicians are. The ballad is a piece by Alita Adams, I Just Had to Hear Your Voice. And it has nothing to do with the lyrics of the song, even though it's beautiful and everyone should know the song. But the mood and the emotion that that ballad creates is exactly implying what it's like to long for something, to want to reach for it, to dream of it. So the ballad becomes a very emotional, and it takes off and it lands, just like the field. And then as we get into the last part of the program, of course, then you're into the joy of making your dream come true and to continually pushing to reach the clouds and go beyond. So ascension. The props this year are objects that have a complexity and an intricacy that the members can work within and around and above, but they also come together in their own symbolic form of wings with feathers and the feather tips and the angles. They have multiple use, and yet they blend so elegantly within the program and with the costuming and the way they move around the field and sort of like clouds float around the field and come together to give us our ultimate ending of the wings that we all want to bear. The costuming this year had to have a sense of freedom and of flight. And there's implied wings and what it's like if you flew directly into a prism, and how color then splashes itself onto every performer, and how every performer through the cut of the costume can look like they're flying at any given moment and reflecting the sunlight. So we are much more colorful with this program, and it takes advantage of the motion that costumes can create. So we are constantly moving creatively, the Blue Devils are, in multiple areas. We all aim to find things we've never found before. So in the catalog of work that's been produced at the Blue Devils, it feels as if it's the next step, as they all do in the moment. We are taking steps, and those steps are going upward because we learn. Well, what happens every year with the performers that come to the Blue Devils, they understand who the Blue Devils are, and they understand the kind of programs we like to pursue and chase. And what I've discovered through the years is how incredibly intelligent and studious they are. For all of us who marched in the past, it gives you such pride to look at what we did when we were marching and how they have evolved their talent and their skills. That you can see a perspective how we are all connected as performers in the past and these performers of today. And these performers are better than ever. They're more musical than ever. They're more skilled than ever, and can convey emotions in ways that are brand new for this activity in drum corps. So every year is a joy with the talent of these performers. What I always hope for audiences is that they want to see the show more than once. We create programs that have depth in a way that you can enjoy at one time and then see it again and again and find new things within the show or hear new things. And we are teaching young adults, so we have to create shows for our adults that are members that match where they are intellectually. It would be foolish of any creative person to try to tell you, the audience, what you like. So for me to sit here and guess, oh, the audience will like this, or one person from the audience likes one thing and another person from the audience likes another thing, and then we're trying to anticipate, that's an impossible thing to do. But shows are always created with the thought that there will be an audience, and that our hope is that you enjoy it and have an experience like no other.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Check, check. Hello? You got, yeah. Hey, hello, good evening. We're here live at Family Night here. I've got my brother, Tony Odello, who is a member of the 1976 Blue Devil award-winning drumline, who won the first Blue Devil championship for the Blue Devils. Tony, you having a good experience here on the 50th reunion?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of old friends, and it's great to be here.
Yeah. Great, yeah, we had a whole alumni social and a dinner together, and we're having a good time socializing and whatnot today and watching the show. What would you take back? What do you think of the chorus today? in the shows today compared to what you were doing?
I like the bottom end that the pit puts out there. The bass and the keyboards really adds a lot of the lower subsonic sound to it. It gives you a much more immense excitement. I think it's incredible.
So you like the amplification and that stage that we've added to the drum corps in recent years?
Yeah, I think it gives it a lot more balance and better mix in the effects.
Okay, great. And did you have that in 1976? How did you produce sound then?
We just beat on the drums as hard as we could.
Yeah, and as clean as you could because you had that execution guy right on the field with you down there.
Sweating on my drum.
Yeah. Well, we're all having a good time tonight, and it's great to have the 76 Corps. We had a mingle. We mingled with the 2026 Corps together, told stories about the old and the new, and brought the whole thing together. And it's turning out to be a great evening. The weather out here is fantastic. Everybody's having a good time, shorts and short sleeve shirts, and we're looking forward to going on and doing the show at Stanford for real here. So anything else you want to add, Tony, about your experience with the drum corps? I mean, how long did you march in the Corps?
I marched in the Corps for 18 years.
Wow.
I taught the B Corps for 3 years.
Okay.
Some of the greatest times of my life, the traveling, the experiences, the gym floors, the bad food, and winning and losing shows was really a great life experience.
Yeah, and the food's really gotten better these days. I want to tell you that much. We try to treat our Corps members as best as we possibly can. They have a good time out there. So, yep. So anyway, thanks for having us, Tony. Thanks for the interview. I appreciate you being out here with us.
Thanks for interviewing me
and
my brother.
Yourself. Yeah, yeah. All right. All right. Thank you.
This year's program is entitled Ze, which is the Greek word for he lives.
This is kind of our modern look at the story of Icarus.
So it's kind of a retelling, a reimagining of the story of what if he survived, what if he achieved his goal.
The story of Icarus is one of ambition and wanting to take risk and wanting to fly as high as you can.
Our field is destruction, our bodies are crashed into the earth, and then from there we go through some ideas of fear, failure. That's kind of our second production. And then we start building hope. And then by the end of the show, we're working ascension and learning to fly and find our dreams.
Being able to explore that story and, kind of do that through the mold and through the guise of a drum corps where we are, telling the story in a unique way allows us to explore some different opportunities, challenge ourselves in ways we haven't been challenged before.
And that really is what the show is doing. It's not trying to tell the exact story of Icarus. It's not trying to create a new story beyond the fact that we find Icarus is alive through the inspiration and our desire to create new things.
One of the things I really love about this year's production is the variety of the show. This show has a ton of demand, a ton of content.
This year's book so far is one of the harder books we've done, but I think it's very achievable because of the talent of the group.
In the beginning, when we're teaching it, sometimes the performers are like, you want me to do what? But once they try it and they do it, they realize, wow, this is going to be awesome. And seeing those light bulbs turn on from, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to do this, to I'm doing this and I'm going to get really good at it.
You look at our repertoire list this year and it's pretty extensive, but I think the way that it's woven together this year is really thoughtful. Even though there are these long lists of source materials and ideas and influences and inspirations, I think that the main sections of our show kind of come from single pieces of music, and then we kind of recur and interweave some of these themes into other sections of the show.
We do have a lot of melodic opportunity, the performance. There's a lot of technical opportunity, more lyricism, harmonic journey that we go through. Between the styles and the ballad, we're covering everything from orchestral music to the Philip Glass beginning. We're covering cinematic music at the end. We're covering gospel, British brass band jazz style. There's a lot of variety and opportunity in the production.
What I always hope for audiences is that they want to see the show more than once. It would be foolish of any creative person to try to tell you, the audience, what you like. That's an impossible thing to do. But shows are always created with the thought that there will be an audience, and that our hope is that you enjoy it and have an experience like no other. The costuming this year had to have a sense of freedom and of flight, and how color then splashes itself onto every performer. And it takes advantage of the motion that costumes can create.
Here is what they don't tell you. Icarus laughed as he fell, threw his head back and yelled into the winds, arms spread wide, teeth bared to the world. There is a bitter triumph in crashing when you should be soaring. The wax scorched his skin, ran blazing trails down his back, his thighs, his ankles, his feet. Feathers floated like prayers past his fingers, close enough to snatch back. Death breathed burning kisses against his shoulders, where the wings joined the harness. The sun painted everything in shades of gold. There is a certain beauty in setting the world on fire and watching from the center of the flames.
That wasn't too bad. Bass drums. Can you beat the tenors? Extra notes is always good. Now, hiding behind the front ensemble is a very special section of the B and C Corps, our cymbal section. I think they need to do it as well. And I think to support them, we need our 3 center snares from A, B, and C to play triplet diddle so that they can do their cymbals triplet diddle. Cymbals, stand up. It's your turn. Don't be shy. I think they need some encouragement. What do you guys think? Come on, cymbals. Just do quarter notes. What? Cymbals, triple diddle, doing quarter notes. They'll be playing with the 3 center snares. That's what they do every year. You got to turn around. You got to face the crowd. Got to get excited. Let's hear it again for the cymbals. Jake, Jordan, help out. Abby, go ahead. Let's go. I think we're ready. All right. So the question is, who did it best? Did the snares do it the best? Did the tenors do it the best? Did the bass drums do it the best? Or was it the cymbal line? And 2 years in a row, the cymbal line wins. Awesome. Now I think we have power, so we can start our front ensemble. So I'm going to call up Josh Kester, alumni of our A Corps and RCC and C Corps. Corps 2? Oh, no B Corps. Never mind. But, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Josh Kester.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Kester. Like Mike said, I was in the C Corps from 2013 to 2016, and then the A Corps in 22 and 23. This year is the biggest mass front ensemble we've ever had. We gained a few mallet spots in the C Corps, which is super awesome. And we have the junior corps drum set player back there. Everyone say hi. Cool, we're gonna play 2 exercises for you and then a short chunk of the C Corps show, I believe with the battery. Mike can correct me on that. batteries playing with us too? Cool. Yeah. So our first exercise is called Dirt. It's a 2-mallet, quick 16th exercise. We're going to play this in our whole tone sequence. And this will be off center marimba max from the C Corps. Cool. Up next, we have a 4-mallet exercise. This is alternating 3, and this is the first year all 3 corps are playing this exercise, which is very exciting, at least for the C Corps. And we're going to do this once. Next up, we're gonna play a little bit of the C-Core show. This is the percussion feature in our closer, and the drum line's gonna be joining us. Mike, do you want to introduce this at all?
All right, so we're going to do our percussion feature from our show Metallic. It is an excerpt from the song Idol by Yoasobi, which is an anime cartoon. And it's really, really cool. It's very rhythmic. It's very heavy. It's very metal because we're doing a Metallic show. So Abby in the back is going to give us 8 to count us off, and the pit's going to jump in. The batter's going to jump with her, and here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Idol. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, the percussion sections from the A, B, C, and junior drum corps. Thanks again so much for coming out. There's so much more tonight that you're going to see. It's going to be an amazing evening. Up next is the Special Needs Guard, which is always the most highlight of our night. And again, please support the percussion section from the A Corps and the Funliner. BlueDevils.org/donate. And then in the comment section, please put, "This is for the Funliner." Thank you very much.
As you can imagine, it may take a minute or two for this production to clear the field, but wasn't that great? Okay, I stand corrected for a mistake I made. Liz from the 60s, there she is.
We are at the Alumni and Donor Social, and we are going to have lunch with 2026 cast members. My name is Annette Kuzinin. I am the Alumni Association President. I marched to the Corps from 87 to 91. What I love about this event is we get to mingle with the cast members. So they sit down and they join us at our tables and we get to chat with them individually and get some one-on-one time with them, which is super interesting and fun given we've experienced what they're experiencing. I hope it's a connection to the people who came before them. The Blue Devils have a really long legacy, and I think there's a lot to be learned from the people who came before you and established this organization's reputation.
Hey, we are enjoying some great performances today, and we are in anticipation of some more great performances, including from the 21-time world champion Blue Devils. And I am here tonight with Mac McIntyre, who was in the very first championship drum corps for the Blue Devils in 1976. Welcome, Mac. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience in 1976?
Thank you, Mike. I was 19. I had been in drum corps for a number of years prior to that, and I had the opportunity to come out and join the Blue Devils. And it was my drum corps nirvana. Yep. As they say, some of my friends went elsewhere, but I loved coming out here. The culture, we were treated like adults. Keep in mind, this was mid-70s. I was just out of high school. The world culture at the time was, different than it is now. But you step into the world of drum corps and the world of boundaries and discipline to achieve a goal, and the efficiency with which we rehearsed is what was a big surprise for me, having already spent a number of years in the activity. We were incredibly efficient with our goals. The staff knew what they wanted to do. I've been around other units where the staff kind of guesses what the show is going to be. We were incredibly prepared, all the way down from the little wooden dowels at Mel Stratton's house on his pool table, and they took 35mm pictures and then played the music and moved the slides. We knew what our show was supposed to look like in Philadelphia before we learned the drill, in color.
That's great.
They used all sorts of ingenious tools to make us better performers without beating us into the dirt, as we say sometimes. And then you look at what the growth of the Blue Devils has been literally over the last 50 years. The leadership going back with, the beginning of the organization with the Odellos, the guidance of Jerry Seawright to create then what it has turned into now. We in a sense, are a role model for the entire activity on how to run this. If you want it, it's not going to be cheap. It costs money to play drum corps. And our organization, I think, is in great shape in terms of how we handle our business. I know from your aspect, your side of the coin, we do a lot of things right. And we look in the mirror a lot and try to improve them, even though they're right. And I think from any organizational standpoint, if you're providing the activity for the kids won't come back if they don't feel a sense of being taken care of, which I think we do an incredible job of taking care of our kids on tour, all the way from how do we feed them, how do we treat them, how do we schedule the rehearsal time, things that 50 years ago were sort of taken for granted. If you go 50 years further back in history, drum corps were an extension of military units coming back home from World War II. So there was a different thought process about what drum corps was back in the 60s and 70s. And now it's an art form. It's a competitive sport art form that the kids and their talent level today, I mean, all of us that are here for the 76 Corps, we look at it and go, we wouldn't make the audition process today. We had talent for our day and our time period, but the kids today, all I can say is you guys are awesome. It's fun to watch kids perform today.
Well, thank you. We're honored to celebrate you and the rest of your members that are here for the 76 celebration. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
So we actually have 3 satellite locations. If any of you know anybody that might want to participate in the Special Needs Guard, please check out the website. If you have any questions, you can reach out and we would be happy to answer those questions. So I will go ahead and turn it over on behalf of our wonderful Color Guard staff from all 3 programs and from BDPA. I present to you the 2026 Special Needs Guard and all Color Guards.
Oh.
Oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me. We were victims of the night, the chemical, physical kryptonite, helpless to the face as a fade of night. Oh, we were bound to get together, bound to get together. She took my arm, I don't know how they happened. The floor you said, oh, don't you dare run back. Just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Her back was dressed in some meat of sleeves. My discotheque, Juliet, teenage dream. I felt it in the stretches and look at me. I knew we were bound to get together, bound to get together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and she said, oh, don't you dare back, just keep your eyes on me. I said, you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Oh, come on, girl. Deep in her eyes, I think I see a future. I realize this is my last chance. She took my arms, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and just oh, don't you dare run back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance. Don't you dare run back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Ooh, shut up and dance with me. Ooh, shut up and dance with me.
That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Special Needs Guard, and thank you all of our Guard members. Kind of hard to keep from crying when that's going on, you know? It's so special. I've got a couple of folks I want to bring up. They are right here, Lindsay and Adrian. Both of them are connected to the Special Needs Guard and the Sea Corps. And one of the things about Family Day that we try to find a story every year where we have us connected, make the connections across the ages. And this lady taught my daughter, and she was in the, you were also in the you were in the B Corps and the A Corps. And I'm going to turn the microphone over to you, Lindsay, and let you introduce Adrian and talk about the connections here.
Okay, hi everybody. I got to march 4 years in the B Corps back in the day, 7 years in the A Corps. Thank you. I was blessed, I'm very blessed. I met my husband Adrian in the A Corps in '94, And now all 3 of our children are in Blue Devil Color Guards, and they are all captains of their teams, the C Corps, B Corps, and juniors this year. Thank you. Can you guys just say how old you were when you started, when you became a Blue Devil?
I'm 15, and I became a Blue Devil when I was 5 years old.
I became a Blue Devil when I was 6, I think. Yeah.
I'm 11. I became a Blue Devil when I was 7 years old.
And I won't tell you my age, but I became a Blue Devil when I was 18 years old. So I met my wife in '94 in Blue Devil Color Guard and aged out in '95, and was able to stay with the A Corps through the year 2000. And then I've been associated with the C Corps since 2010, on and off, worked with the NAD and all the programs. So it's been a blessing. We're happy to have our little Blue Devil family. And we didn't push our kids to do this. They just wanted to do it on their own. They saw the passion we had for it, and they came along. So here we are.
Well, thank you all. Thank you for your dedication. And I understand that you also are back 40 and help feed us at Stanford. So if you eat on Sunday at the Stanford show, that will be some food coming from you, Adrian. Yeah. So thank y'all for doing this. I'm curious up there, how many of you met the person you were with in your life? Stand up if you met him as a Blue Devil. If you're a Blue Devil couple, or look at that. Look at the. Okay, y'all in the white chairs, just stay down right now. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, yes. Okay, we are now about to be moving into the mass brass. Are they ready to start coming onto the field?
Good evening, Blue Devil Nation. Mac McIntyre here. I had the pleasure of marching from 76, 7, and 8 before I aged out. I was able to teach for a couple of years. I was asked earlier about my life in the Blue Devils, starting in 1976. And with me tonight is Dave Tuttle, who, like myself, was another fellow out-of-stater that picked the Blue Devils to come finish his drum corps life. So I'm going to turn it to Dave. I think you were 17, 18 when you joined?
17.
17. I was 19 when I joined, but I spent the rest of my drum corps life being a Blue Devil. And Dave?
Yes, same here. Ended up marching for 5 years. Saw the Blue Devils live for the first time in 1975 at Wichita, and was immediately smitten with the program and the vibe around the organization and the people. So I was very fortunate to become a member of the Corps in 1976 and really jump in on the speeding train of excellence that had been established by the initial members of the Drum Corps over the first few years of its existence. So it was great to be part of a culmination of a lot of people's efforts that preceded us. And subsequently to that first championship, we started piling up more championships on top of that, and it started really establishing a standard of excellence and a standard of not giving up at all. And against all odds, you just push as hard as you can. You always find another level. You always find another thing that you can do to improve yourself, improve the Corps. And I think the excellence has been passed along from generation to generation now for over 50 years, and continues to this day.
Dave's being a little humble. He's one of a very few people. Dave accumulated 4 national championships in his 5 years of marching. You are in a rare group, my friend. In a rare group. We're good?
The costuming this year had to have a sense of freedom and of flight, and how color then splashes itself onto every performer. And it takes advantage of the motion that costumes can create.
Here is what they don't tell you. Icarus laughed as he fell, threw his head back and yelled into the winds, arms spread wide, teeth bared to the world. There is a bitter triumph in crashing when you should be soaring. The wax scorched his skin, ran blazing trails down his back, his thighs, his ankles, his feet. Feathers floated like prayers past his fingers, close enough to snatch back. Death breathed burning kisses against his shoulders, where the wings joined the harness. The sun painted everything in shades of gold. There is a certain beauty in setting the world on fire and watching from the center of the flames.
Six seconds.
Thank you for your patience. You know, the illuminates delay is a timing of BDLIVE on the internet that's going worldwide across the whole earth over there, and we're timing this production. They're seeing this all live, and we want to make it all synced up. So thank you for your patience with that. It's exciting, isn't it? You want to stand on this? You want to stand? You want a hand mic? I'm gonna. Okay. We're good. I know I'm trying to juggle everything. But. Horn line thing, man, 2026 style. We got James Rocio here that's going to lead all these mass horns together. James.
Hello, how are you guys? It's great to see all of you. As you can see, we have a lot of horns out here. We have about 4 different things to go ahead and play for you this evening. We're going to start off with something that I believe the Sea Corps is doing, and we're all going to go ahead and play a little part of that there. This is going to be led by the Sea Corps Brass Captain Head, Mr. Victor Alcarez. He'll be leading that. Yeah, how about a big round of applause for Victor, yeah? This afternoon, we got to hear each other and hear each other perform, and I got to tell you, the talent that's on the field right now is absolutely incredible. The C Corps and B Corps are just outstanding, and I think you're going to really enjoy the Air Corps this evening. So without any further ado, because I think it takes a little bit of time to get all these horns on a field, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So let's give a big round of applause to Victor Alcaraz, and this is Stray Cat Strut. How about one round of applause from the Mass Brass? Yeah. I'm going to ask for one extra round of applause because every time I see that many tubas, I want people to applaud. For this next section, I'm going to turn the mic over to Rick Odello, and we have a special presentation.
Thank you, James. We want to change the emotion in the stadium just a little bit right now. We have a special song that we would like to perform for you tonight. And this is in honor of a few valued longtime Blue Devil BDPA family staff members that we've lost this past year. All of these people in their own way have left an incredible, indelible mark on the organization. We're so thankful that they were part of our lives. Pete Emmons, longtime A-Corps manager. Pep Manning, longtime transportation, did everything. We lost a lot this year. Trevon Hayes, Blue Devil props, awesome guy, mechanically gifted, hard worker. And the Vargases, Carol and Warner Vargas. Carol was a longtime cook for the Blue Devil A-Corps. And such a nice lady, so generous. And Warner, her husband, was a longtime bus driver and transportation guy and the nicest guy I've ever want to meet in the world. We want to bring all these people out here right now that have a connection with Pete, Pep, Trevon, Carol, and Warner out to the field. People that are running the transportation now and cooking the food, doing the props, keeping the Corps going down the road. With that, we'd like to have the Mass Brass play one number for those people. Oh, okay. And I apologize. There's one more that I neglected to add, and that's Catherine Float. Tom Float's wife. Tom and Catherine did the Blue Devil drumline for years. They were it's the only drumline ever to do a 4-peat of high drums in DCI competition. And we lost Tom a while back, and we lost Catherine here this year also. So I want to give her your due recognition. I apologize for not mentioning her for the first go around, but she was just as important as anybody. And she was the most beautiful woman at every show we ever did. She would really dress up and really we were very proud of her. So, Catherine Float.
The brass, you're dismissed. Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause.
This year's program is entitled Ze, which is the Greek word for he lives.
This is kind of our modern look at the story of Icarus.
So it's kind of a retelling, a reimagining of the story of what if he survived, what if he achieved his goal.
The story of Icarus is one of ambition and wanting to take risk and wanting to fly as high as you can.
Our field is destruction, our bodies are crashed into the earth, and then from there we go through some ideas of fear, failure. That's kind of our second production. And then we start building hope. And then by the end of the show, we're working ascension and learning to fly and find our dreams.
Being able to explore that story and, kind of do that through the mold and through the guise of a drum corps where we are, telling the story in a unique way allows us to explore some different opportunities, challenge ourselves in ways we haven't been challenged before.
And that really is what the show is doing. It's not trying to tell the exact story of Icarus. It's not trying to create a new story beyond the fact that we find Icarus is alive through the inspiration and our desire to create new things.
One of the things I really love about this year's production is the variety of the show. This show has a ton of demand, a ton of content.
This year's book so far is one of the harder books we've done, but I think it's very achievable because of the talent of the group.
In the beginning, when we're teaching it, sometimes the performers are like, you want me to do what? But once they try it and they do it, they realize, wow, this is gonna be awesome. And seeing those light bulbs turn on from, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna do this, to I'm doing this and I'm gonna get really good at it.
You look at our repertoire list this year and it's pretty extensive, but I think the way that it's woven together this year is really thoughtful. Even though there are these long lists of source materials and ideas and influences and inspirations, I think that the main sections of our show kind of come from single pieces of music, and then we kind of recur and interweave some of these themes into other sections of the show.
We do have a lot of melodic opportunity in the performance. There's a lot of technical opportunity, more lyricism, harmonic journey that we go through. Between the styles and the ballad, we're covering everything from orchestral music to the Philip Glass beginning. We're covering cinematic music at the end. We're covering gospel, British brass band jazz style. There's a lot of variety and opportunity in the production.
What I always hope for audiences is that they want to see the show more than once. It would be foolish of any creative person to try to tell you, the audience, what you like. That's an impossible thing to do. But shows are always created with the thought that there will be an audience, and that our hope is that you enjoy it and have an experience like no other.
Thank you.
costuming this year had to have a sense of freedom and of flight, and how color then splashes itself onto every performer. And it takes advantage of the motion that costumes can create.
Here is what they don't tell you. Icarus laughed as he fell, threw his head back and yelled into the winds, arms spread wide, teeth bared to the world. There is a bitter triumph in crashing when you should be soaring. The wax scorched his skin, ran blazing trails down his back, his thighs, his ankles, his feet. Feathers floated like prayers past his fingers, close enough to snatch back. Death breathed burning kisses against his shoulders, where the wings joined the harness. The sun painted everything in shades of gold. There is a certain beauty in setting the world on fire and watching from the center of the flames.
At least 1/10 of it. So the future is now. Get excited, be ready to cheer, be ready to go absolutely bananas for the Blue Devils Junior Corps. Victor, are we ready? Audience, are you ready? Presenting their 2026 production, Stray Cat Strut, the inaugural performance of Blue Devils Junior.
I better put it in a lot. The double, I got to do a page turn boot.
All right, BDJ. Love it. Let's rock. All right, thank you.
We are back here at Family Day having a good old time. Everybody's performing, different sections are showing off what they have for us. Man, I'm having a good time. How about you?
Yeah, and this is, my name's Albert Vella. I'm on the brass staff here with the Blue Devils A Corps.
I'm Clark. I'm on the visual staff here with the A Corps.
Yeah, the BD Junior was pretty awesome. I mean, if you're not up on your feet like cheering and having a great time, I don't know what music does to you, because that was spectacular. And that's our youngest members. You know, they're aged 8 to about 14, so basically up to high school. And it's daunting, all right? Having been on the field in my youth, like, I can't imagine doing that at 8. Like, wow.
I mean, you see the stadium, they're performing for thousands of people, and that's one of the first times they actually perform in front of people under the stadium lights, hearts pounding. I can only imagine going back to my childhood years, how that must feel.
Oh, yeah, and then let's just talk about the fact that 8, 9, 10, I mean, these kids can be in the Blue Devil Performing Arts family for over a decade if they just keep going and having this fun, and that's what Family Day is all about. We're here at Family Day right now. Organizations A Corps, B Corps, C Corps, Junior, our Special Needs Guard. There's just so many different ways for young people to play a role and participate in their community here in this great state of California. So it's just fabulous, you know. And then
what Family Day is this for you?
Oh, this is, well, 2019 was my first Family Day. So 19, we had a couple of skips in there. So this is like 5 or 6. How many is that for you?
First one was in 2015, so maybe around 9 Family Days.
Well, has it changed since then for you?
It's about the same. I mean, my first Family Day was right here on this field, Los Mandanos College, and that was 11 years ago. And it was pretty crazy just going back over a decade. I was talking to one of the alumni from 1976. This is the 50th anniversary of their championship, and so we're chatting, and they're like, man, I can't believe it's been 50 years. I'm sitting here like,
Sixers is what they call themselves. Yeah,
I'm sitting here like, well, I mean, I'm a quarter of, I'm 20% of the way to that as well. It's crazy how much time flies, and I don't know, it's just amazing to see every year how it's the same, but it's different, and the organization grows, and how we just grow closer together as an organization. It's really amazing.
I love seeing the members like make that connection to, you know, these older members. You know, it's like the 90s. You know, it doesn't seem like that far away. You know, like for myself, but that's a long time ago. The 80s, the 70s. They had somebody stand up from 1964 in the Blue Devils organization, and for our members to be able to spend some time with them and to be able to say, we are the same. You know, we are the same. Like, we are from the same group. So that's just fabulous.
It really is. It really is. It's fun to see them mingle, ask each other questions. The older members, older alumni ask the younger kids, and also the younger kids ask them questions about their experience. It's pretty amazing. So,
all the stories, all the fun, all the Family Day here.
Yeah. Well, we're about to hop into our C Corps performance. After that, we have the B Corps, and then the A Corps is going to finish it off for the evening.
Yeah, so stay tuned if you want to see some great drum corps action all the way for the rest of this evening here.
We kind of roll in with our open class armada as it is. Lots of moving parts that we have. So we have a number of people that I cannot thank enough, but as the C Corps rolls out, who here has seen a C Corps performance before? Raise your hand. Oh, get ready to see something you have never seen before by the C Corps. If you had told me 10 years ago that this was the C Corps, I would have called you a liar. I would have said I would not be here. I would have probably guessed that I would have been somewhere else. This C Corps amazes me every day. They work tirelessly from early in the morning on Saturday until late at night on Monday. And they put this show together in a weekend, pretty much, and a couple weekends at Mars. So who here has ever been to Mars or rehearsed on Mars? Oh, yeah. These are Blue Devils right here in front of you. These Sea Corps folk. They're not even on Mars 1, they're on Mars 2. Who here has marched on Mars 2? Yeah. A rough place, a rough and rugged place. Who here has marched on Mars 3? Mars 3 is even more rugged. And it's flooded now. So be careful with the Mars 3. Who here has ever marched on Mars 4? Yes. Mars 4, the baseball field. Our expanse of Mars is growing. So this is our Sea Corps. And I think they're going to rock your world. So with our Sea Corps this year, everybody you see on the field is of high school age, our high school base group. 112, I believe, of them. Pretty big color guard of 20-some, I think 27 in my last count, 50-something brass, a full battery, and a full front ensemble. Incredible performers. Generator. We can take it. Okay. So here we are with the Blue Devil Sea presenting their 2026 program, Metallic. A common theme here sometimes at the Blue Devils is that we share our resources, so our microphone system is being powered by the Sea Corps generator. The Sea Corps generator over on the side too. Thank you, Sea Corps generator. Brand new Honda 3000, thank you. So we're gonna lose microphone power, but we'll be ready for the show. Blue Devil Sea presenting their 2026 program, Metallic, with drum majors Ethan Yao, Evie Mitchell, and Alexis Lopez. When your corps is ready, you may do your salute. We're losing power to the microphone. Thank you all very much. Enjoy Metallic.
people how many students we serve here at the Blue Devils. And this year with the creation of the Junior Corps and then the C Corps growing, we serve 448 members this year, more than ever before. 448. That's just crazy. And none of that would be possible without our donors. Anybody in the stands who has ever given any money to the Blue Devils, stand, not counting dues. You'll get to come back next year after you graduate, and then you can stand up. These people make it possible for you to march with your dues. So all of you who have given to the Blue Devils, would you please stand? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have all of the people, this 448 people who are marching in Drum Corps here this year, but also on the road right now is another group called BD International, and they're right now in Europe about to perform and all over at Kierkegaard and all of these different places, and we're so excited that they're out on the road too. And that's another, I think, 98 members that are on the road right now in Europe, and we're so excited about that. One of the people who keeps this all together and helps us bring community together and helps plan events like this and others is our community manager, community engagement Director of Engagement, Claire Simpson, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Claire to talk about her work and to help you learn new ways to be engaged with us.
Thank you, Rosalie. Thank you. As we look around tonight, it's impossible not to be inspired by these incredibly young performers and the people who believe in them enough to make their dreams possible. So to all the donors joining us this evening, thank you. Whether this is your first gift or you've been supporting the Blue Devils for decades, your generosity creates opportunities that changes lives. You are the reason these dreams take the field. Your generosity doesn't just support a season, it creates opportunities for young people to discover who they are, build lifelong friendships, and achieve more than they ever thought possible. If you're an alumni, you remember what this experience meant to you. If you're a parent, you watch firsthand how this transforms your child. And if you're simply here because you love the Blue Devils, thank you for believing in this next generation. If you'd like to help ensure these opportunities continue in the future, I invite you to visit bluedevils.org. Every gift, no matter what size, makes a meaningful difference. Now, I'd like to recognize a few individuals whose leadership and generosity has helped make lasting impact on the BD Performing Arts. First, please join me in welcoming our hometown mayor of the city of Concord and a Blue Devils alum from the Flag Corps, Laura Nakamura. She's in the stands right now. If you could please stand up, Mayor. So since 1957, the Blue Devils has proudly called Concord home, and we are grateful for your continued support of our young members and the performing arts community. Thank you, Mayor. This year, we're proud to introduce the Blue Devils Wall of Champions, a new tradition honoring our most dedicated philanthropic partners. These are individuals whose generosity has helped shape the future of BD Performing Arts, not just for a single season, but for generations to come. Their names will permanently be recognized as part of the Blue Devils legacy for as long as this organization stands. I'd like to introduce Mr. and Mrs. David.
Hey everybody, we're out here at Family Day. It's been an amazing day. We had the alumni and donor social, and we got to have lunch with the 2026 A-Corps members. And now we're looking forward to the B-Corps going on in the field in just a few minutes.
It's been awesome.
It's been so fun. Family Day is the best day of the season.
It's like DCI, Christmas.
All rolled into one. Well, my first year in the Corps was 87, but I haven't been to them all. But so many. I'm probably pushing 20, I would think.
I'm probably about the same.
Yeah.
We marched together in 87 and 88. So, and then I'm back as a parent. So it's been a lot.
Right.
It's amazing to have the opportunity to have a shared experience with my girls and to see them in many ways push even further than I ever did. It's inspiring. Happy Family Day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
In addition to being generous donors, I think the Hellers have like 35 people with you tonight or something like that. Oh, okay. But they also will have 2 sons in the tuba line in the A-Corps. There. And now our favorite multifaceted Corps director, Matt Seavey, from the juniors and the C Corps. And now you're going to talk to us about?
Yeah, here's the B Corps. Bye-bye. I'm done. I think you're sick of me. No, we're excited. This is my 3rd drum corps of the night. I think I have the record for number of drum corps under one belt in one season, so I will take that pat on the back, and I will give it back to the performers on the field. I broke Rick Odello's record of 2, previous record, held by Rick Odello for what, 80 years or something like that? Last man standing, 3 drum corps, 1 year. I love this guy, my favorite guy. He was my boss for a couple years when I worked at the B Corps. Anyways, on the field in front of you is our fantabulous Blue Devils B. We're going to speak pretty candidly on their show. Who here has ever worked in, been around, eaten from a kitchen of some sort? Lots of work that goes into making a kitchen operate. I know, I have a team that works on a kitchen. A food truck, the Rover in the summer. Lots of work that goes into it. I have a wonderful admin staff that has been our cook staff, and there's a lot of work that goes into prepping, cooking, cleaning, all of the good stuff of being a part of a kitchen. This year's Blue Devils B show is about the preparation of, the operation of, and the cleaning up and closing of a French restaurant. We'll give them a second to warm up, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it and get ready for the Blue Devils B 2026. This year, we're excited to return to Indianapolis and the Midwest with Blue Devils B to go compete for an open class drum corps, or so open class championship. The sound check, everybody. Give it up for the sound check. The thumbs up from the audio interns means that everything is working, and that's a good sign. So thank you, audio interns. But yes, we are excited to go back to Dayton, Ohio, and Indianapolis to compete for an open class championship. Give it up for sound check number 2. Sound check number 2. By show of applause, who likes sound check number 1 more? Sound check number 1. Show of applause. And what about sound check number 2? Sound check number 2 wins. So, as we get ready for Blue Devils B, as they finish their final tuning and their final warm-ups of our Family Day 2026 performance, we will be returning to the field in the Midwest to compete for the Open Class Championship, to hopefully bring home some hardware. This is our first performance in uniform for the fans in our new uniforms. Check them out. All right. Sounds like the Corps is ready. I believe they are all in their right place. Presenting their 2026 program, Mise en Place, drum majors Mason Merritt, Sierra Lopez, Michelle Herrera, and Neil Guillory. Is your Corps ready? Blue Devils B, you may take the field in your Family Day performance.
Mise en place. Everything in its right place.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef. I'm almost there.
This is how things are done in the kitchen.
Everything in its right place.
First time we met, we hated each other.
No, you didn't hate me. I hated you.
Meet someone, you have the safe lunch, you decide you like each other enough to move on to dinner. So, what are we gonna order?
It's like killing two birds with one stone. It's like two balls in the body. The second time we met, you didn't even remember me.
The third time we met, we became friends.
I'll have what she's having.
Listen, 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 listen. It's so wrong. It's not even listening. Okay, all of you, stop. There's just nothing coming together. Do you actually cook? You don't know. Thank you very much. Hey everybody, it's closing time. You all gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
Well, how is that? Mise en place, everything in its place. It's so exciting to have that show. I've got 3 young ladies that I want to introduce you to. Come on over here. And we have
And we're back, and we're with here Dave Glide, kind of the mastermind behind Anything Everything Music from the A-Corps. So what's this year been like for you in terms of the design process and seeing the whole thing come to life?
Yeah, this year has been something else. You know, we always tried to start with a blank slate, and then, you know, Scott came up with the idea of something built around Icarus, or the myth or the concept or the story of Icarus. And and so we were talking about, well, how are we going to do that like a little bit different, or is it just like, okay, the wings melt at the end of the show and he dies? Well, like, no, that's going to happen at the beginning of the show. And so that's the way it started. And so the whole opening scene of the show is basically a crash site, an aerial crash site where like Icarus came down and crashed and rolled and tumbled and burned, and so there's debris everywhere. But then that's actually the opening scene, and but he recovers and he doesn't die, and so that's the gist of the opening.
That's awesome. It's definitely a fresh take on a mythological show. What would you say is your favorite part of the musical package altogether?
Yeah, my favorite part, I would say, is I have like little specific music parts, but that you won't be interested in.
Little
but
Easter
as far
eggs.
As the story, yeah, I really love how the arc of our story sort of starts with the end of the Icarus story, and then we're like creating a whole new epic based upon that. And so, that being said, our progression is a lot different. It's more of an up, an up then down, like a sort of a dark to light, and where he can fly again at the end, instead of the opposite, where we're progressing to where he crashes, so to speak. So that would be like a downward trail to everything. But now everything is basically up. And we get the hope of him flying again, and so that's what the ending is about, this triumph of him being able to fly and put it all together again.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can imagine if I were Icarus, the feeling of despair and sadness, but also the hope that comes with that, and the wind that fills the sails to then progress the momentum of the show. Last night at the Mid-Cal Championships with the Mid-Cal Showcase, I definitely saw that from beginning to end. The first time I was able to see it in person from beginning to end, and it was really cool to see the ending just bring the whole show to life. I don't know really how to say that other than just it was amazing, and it feels like classic Blue Devils.
Yeah, the ending is very cinematic, and him taking off. And it's super uplifting, and even the ballad, that's about him dreaming of how am I going to get going again, and dreaming to go up. And since he was taken down by his hubris in the beginning, and it was like he thought he was better than everyone. He had to rethink everything, and put it together again. And so with the ballad, it's really emotional and heartfelt, beautiful in terms of him contemplating everything and like putting it together again. And then after that, we have like the assembly, of the wings again, and then we take off towards the end. Yeah, the music is we wanted to start. Actually, the music is all cinematic, really, because the beginning is Mishima. It's from a movie about Mishima. It's a Japanese artist, and his sort of tragic story, so it really fits the beginning. And then next we move into more of Turbine by John Mackey, which is really industrial, but then by the end you can tell like, okay, we're starting to fly, we're starting to try it, but then we have to rework things. And then the ballad is called I Just Had to Hear Your Voice, and that's by Olita Adams sang it, and she didn't write it, but it's super emotional and beautiful. And then after that, we're going to the more of the assembly part and sort of the techno thinking of the show, and that leads into the closer, which is Escape by Hans Zimmer. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Carter.
Well, thank you, Dave.
That was great.
Always love picking your brain about this, and it's cool to see it come to life.
Okay, all right. Hope you enjoy the show. All right, thanks.
The Blue Devils have the governance in place and are executing on administratively, and we're here for tomorrow. So, what do I have to do? Scholarships.
Read out the names of the three.
Okay. We have 3 academic scholarships to award. First one, Jackson Costello. All right. And then Dylan Merkowitz and Dallas Rosenbaum. Okay. Yep. All right. And I'm going to ask Rick to come up and tell us about some board members.
Hey everyone, my name is Rick Yee. I'm a current board member. I've been on the board for the last 9 years. I first stepped on this field as a member in 1987. Some of you can do that math in your head. Some of you need a calculator, but I want to recognize our board that's here tonight and also name a few that aren't here tonight. As Chris mentioned, so much of what we do is governance and finance and things behind the scenes. And I know a lot of these folks do a lot of work to try to keep all of our programs afloat. So the folks that are here tonight, Nate Moore, would you stand up if you're still around here? I saw you earlier. Nate marched in the what was then soprano line in the mid-1990s. Donna Batchelor, I see her right there. I know she doesn't want to stand up. She's been here for many years, has served as board president in the past, and she was the first female drum major of the Crossmen. Joe McIntyre, Joellen, I know she's up there. She was in the color guard in the 70s. And then Rosalie, who you've been hearing about all day, or hearing from all day. The other ones that are not here today are Ruth Braden, Jeff DeMello, Allison Chamberlain, Charlie Iguanagua, Kevin Murray, Aaron Suzuki, and Kevin Reed. So we'd like to thank all of them for their support and participation. I am going to go off script here a little bit and get myself in some deep doo-doo. I'd like you to join me in wishing a couple of very important people a happy birthday. One is your co-MC, Rick Odello. It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Rick.
And then Mike Stone, who is our CEO. It's his birthday today. He told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. So happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday, Rick. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be hard to hear me, but this next announcement is important. In order to keep a good relationship with the college and with the town, we are going to need to clear out pretty quickly after the Blue Devils perform. So if you want to meet up with your members, they're going to be in the parking lot or at the buses. So don't come down to the field when the show's over, but head on out the gates and meet your folks out in the parking lot.
This year's program is entitled Ze, which is the Greek word for he lives. And it's inspired by the story of Icarus. The show really began as the question, what if Icarus had lived? What if his attempt to fly close to the sun had not ended in failure? What would that mean? So it was an interesting question to think about, because the story of Icarus is one of ambition and wanting to take risk and wanting to fly as high as you can and not experience failure or learn from that failure. He got to fly. He got to soar higher than any human had ever flown. And the fact that Icarus lives is a testament to us as dreamers, as human beings, as creative people. Also, there's something to be said for the fact that Icarus was going where no one had gone before, and there's something to setting the world on fire and laughing from inside the flames. Every show begins with research. And so the idea of doing a show based on Icarus has sort of, again, like many shows that we do at the Blue Devils, it's been floating around for a long time, especially the relationship to wings and how the Blue Devils have famously innovated with the use of fabric and creating wings through the decades. But the story of Icarus, and we've explored myth before also, but one of taking risk and flying so high is a discussion that we often have. How can we take risk in the program? Musically, visually, choreographically, thematically. And that really is what the show is doing. It's not trying to tell the exact story of Icarus. It's not trying to create a new story beyond the fact that we find Icarus is alive through the inspiration and our desire to create new things. The first part of the show is really about the idea of Icarus, and really began as a thought in my head of what if all these people, who in our case are performers, had stumbled upon a crash site and discovered Icarus and the wings, but no Icarus, just these objects. And what would that mean? And once they began to realize that these are objects of great treasure and great meaning, you get a melody or music like the soundtrack of Mishima, which is glorious and has a moment of ecstasy. It's like realizing I can take a chance. I can do something special. That's where the first part of the show is, the idea of Icarus coming alive and being alive in that moment. As we go into the show, then we've got to explore the fear behind taking risk, what it takes to put the machine together. So there are a lot of acts of falling and recovering, helping each other. So it's a lot of little moments when we're facing those fears and finding ambition. In part 2 of the show, we have a John Mackey tune called Turbine, which is just incredible because of the twists and turns and the variety within one production. It is like when you have an idea and you've got to really flesh out that idea and think about it, and you're this way one moment and that way the next. That's what Turbine is doing. And so it seemed very appropriate. As we go into the third part of the show, which is the ballad, it really is about the longing of wanting to fly and ascend in anything, any dream you have. What does that mean to long for it so much and want it? The field becomes a runway, in fact, for ascension and descending, for takeoff and for landing. And you see an implied runway that the performers are operating within, the musicians are. The ballad is a piece by Alita Adams, I Just Had to Hear Your Voice. And it has nothing to do with the lyrics of the song, even though it's beautiful and everyone should know the song. But the mood and the emotion that that ballad creates is exactly implying what it's like to long for something, to want to reach for it, to dream of it. So the ballad becomes a very emotional, and it takes off and it lands, just like the field. And then as we get into the last part of the program, of course, then you're into the joy of making your dream come true and to continually pushing to reach the clouds and go beyond. So ascension. The props this year are objects that have a complexity and an intricacy that the members can work within and around and above, but they also come together in their own symbolic form of wings with feathers and the feather tips and the angles. They have multiple use, and yet they blend so elegantly within the program and with the costuming and the way they move around the field, and sort of like clouds float around the field and come together to give us our ultimate ending of the wings that we all want to bear. The costuming this year had to have a sense of freedom and of flight, and how color then splashes itself onto every performer. And it takes advantage of the motion that costumes can create.
Here is what they don't tell you. Icarus laughed as he fell, threw his head back and yelled into the winds, arms spread wide, teeth bared to the world. There is a bitter triumph in crashing when you should be soaring. The wax scorched his skin, ran blazing trails down his back, his thighs, his ankles, his feet. Feathers floated like prayers past his fingers, close enough to snatch back. Death breathed burning kisses against his shoulders, where the wings joined the harness. The sun painted everything in shades of gold. There is a certain beauty in setting the world on fire and watching from the center of the flames.
Yeah, we're trying. We unplug the charger too.
The anticipation is heightening. Here to tell us just a little bit about what we're about to see is one of the Blue Devils corps managers, Cameron Guerrero.
Good evening, everybody. I can't do it better than Scott Chandler, so I'm going to read you what he wrote. According to mythology, Icarus is a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris. But what if Icarus had survived the tragic fall? The idea of Icarus lives on through humanity's every longing to go beyond limitations. There is a great beauty in transcending our boundaries, soaring to new heights, even when facing the unknown. What could have been the end of Icarus did not extinguish the desire to take flight, it made it immortal. The choice of aspiration over caution reminds us that Icarus remains within every step and daring leap forward. The 2026 Blue Devils present a reimagined legend in Zay. Icarus is revealed through imagery and inspiration. Music and movement rise, propelled by hope, risk, and passion. A dynamic soundscape invigorates discovery as sound and form come together in bold visual exploration. Drum majors, Madeline Williams, Gabriel Girata, and Justin Lesser. Is your corps ready? Now performing their 2026 production, Zay, the Blue Devils.
Here's what they don't tell you. Icarus laughed as he fell. There's a certain beauty. Soaring. beauty.
Let's hear it one more time for the Blue Devils.
All right, let's give it up one more time for all these performers today, huh? Awesome, awesome.
This is you.
Is this it right up here?
Yeah, the green.
Oh, the green? Well, we yelled at him enough. What's this down here?
That's something I'll say. I don't know. Just say something. I don't care.
Thank you guys for all coming out tonight. The drum corps season has officially begun. Have a great weekend. Drive home safe. And please clear the stadium as soon as possible.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Sure.
Oh, you were plenty loud, yeah. But it was good. It was good. You project. It was good. Is that it for talking?
Might remember the story of Icarus, who put on his wings, attached them with wax, and flew too close to the sun. And of course, a lot of people see that as a story of hubris and humility and humbling, but really, maybe it's better said as a story about trying and learning from failure and then growing. That's what our story's about. Zay is the story. Maybe Icarus wasn't a failure.